All right, all right, all right, all right. How are we doing on this fine Monday? Yeah, it's Monday, right? Oh man. How are we doing, everybody? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So what do we got? We have to catch up on where we've been. We have to look forward to where we're going. We have to deal with the stupid rumors about Bobrovsky that just it just shows you how social media has lost their freaking minds. And what do we got here? Oh, I can't. I don't even have a temperature down here. It just says winter storm warning in effect. It's yucky outside. We're just for you people in Florida. It's definitely yucky outside. So how we doing, Colin? No update from practice today. Yeah, I know. I was kind of disappointed to hear that I guess Jones is still. We don't know when he's coming back, so that's nice. We know that we might get Gadjevich. What did Maurice say? There's a chance we could get those guys back on the road trip, which is Maurice's version of saying I don't know. I don't. He doesn't know any more than we do. Hey, David, Canada got all upset about the gold medal game and sent their weather down here. Yeah, it's cold, man. Hey, Trent, I'm not a big Matthews fan, but my God, the hate that Matthews gets from the Canadians is so ridiculous. Like, oh, he did nothing. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, uh, I've seen some interesting takes to say the least. It's been a wild experience to just go and just look, especially Facebook. If you would like to feel better about your life and feel better about your self control and your ability to handle yourself under pressure or disappointing circumstances, if you would like to look at something and you say, I'm not so bad. My life's not so bad. Just go to Facebook. Just, just go to Facebook. Any group, hockey group, fan page, and just it's just wild. There's a portion of people that are here like good game, and then I mean stuff like Cooper saying the stuff he said about the 3-on-3. It's like the rules were the same. You know what I mean? The rules were the same for everybody. So, it is what it is there. Everybody played under the same rules, just like COVID, right? Cool. I mean, everybody played under the same rules in COVID. So it counts just like this did yesterday with the 3-on-3. Hey, real. Yeah, something about the men's team. I know they flew into Miami instead of New York. And now they might go to the State of the Union. Is that Tuesday? Usually that's on a Tuesday, isn't it? I don't pay attention. David, is 59 degrees at noon. It's 35 with a 20-mile-an-hour wind here. So there. Gotcha, David. With the link above. Let's see if I did that right. Paul Maurice talking about a lot of stuff, but at 2:30 he talks about goalies. Some of the Bob haters should give a listen. All right, I'll open that in a few minutes, David. Appreciate that. Is my other email open? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I see. Okay, I see what you're showing. Did I see this? No, I didn't see that one. Okay, thank you, David. I'll check that out. Let's get Team USA is coming to party in your town tonight, right? Yeah, all roads lead back to Miami. Connor has legally changed his name to Connor Mc Mick Kachuk. Oh, that dude. And I mean, what kind of gets lost in that whole golden goal, the way that whole play started, was McDavid going to the net like he had an opportunity if he would have played it right. He was kind of alone in front. He had an opportunity there. You're hearing Chucky and his brother sign the bridesmaid dress and sent it to the prime minister. Craig, yeah, Matthews, yeah, he was genuinely happy yesterday, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, when is the state? Is the State of the Union tomorrow? You know Chucky's gonna go. Hungry says, according to Canadians, the U.S. won gold with Matthews and both Kachucks being completely invisible out there. I mean, not everything is about goals, right? Yeah, and no one can give Hellebuck any crap anymore. That's for damn sure. Dana says Canadians can be very sanctimonious when it comes to hockey. They literally believe that hockey is their sport, and they would be happy if there was only hockey in Canada. And now I'm Canadian. Yeah, he had like 6 assists. Trump sent a plane for them? Wow. They're going to be celebrating at 11 tonight. So, David, I mean, I understand that the 3-on-3, I get it, but it's a bad look for him to be complaining about it after a loss. Like if at the beginning of the tournament, he says, hey, I don't like this certain thing, that's fine. But to be complaining about it after a loss, especially when they had 5-on-3 for a minute and a half, you know what I mean? Real says, shame Helliebuck doesn't play for USA NHL team. That man should never have to pay for a drink again. Winnipeg will charge double until they win a cup. Oh, yeah, the memes have been fantastic. Oh, geez. Yeah, I changed Fluffy's picture. In case you guys didn't see it. Let me find it here. What is that? Let me share this. I changed Fluffy's picture here. There you go. I changed this picture. So the barrel is gone and now he's got the gold medal. I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh, I hope I can get this to work. And it actually didn't take, it only took the one try. I didn't have to like putz around with it very much. So I posted it. So most of you probably saw it. But yeah. Hungry says, yeah. But you see, 3-on-3 was unfair. They only had 3 of the best players in the world put on the ice. Right? Yeah, the pick, I was very, very pleased that I didn't have to fight. I didn't have to fight with, that's just Gemini image generator. Oleska says Cooper mouthing fuck after Jack's goal was just so satisfying. Colin says that I also understand they want to make they want to not have a closing ceremony late at night because it went to 4 overtimes. Spaceman says half the channel's viewership came from Canada. Probably. The viewership was really, really significantly different this year than last year. In the Four Nations finals game, we had like 1,700 people at one point on the stream, and we pretty much averaged about 1,400 people. And last year, yesterday's game, we barely got over 100 towards the end of the game. So I mean, I'm sure the timing of the game had something to do with it. But last year we had, almost 2,000 people, and this year we barely had over 100. Um, it is what it is. But last year was uh, after the fights. You know what I mean? After all the fights in that first game, the interest peaked to a much more fever pitch. We'll put it that way. I was curious how much. I'm curious when they come out with the ratings. I'd like to know, like the TV ratings. I'd like to know what the difference was between Four Nations and what we had yesterday. Remember the last time U.S. won in the Olympics before? I mean, I was 8, 7, 8, 9. I would have been 8. I would have been 8 years old. I didn't remember a whole lot. You know what I mean? Especially living in Miami, it wasn't a big to do about hockey down there. Hungry, yeah, the algorithm. I don't know that was necessarily because you say the algorithm works in mysterious ways. I got a feeling that has to be less interest. You know what I mean? Way more places to view the game will dilute the viewership too. Yeah, I mean, I would assume it was the same as last year, but it is. I think the 8 o'clock start had something to do with it. Um, you know, and like I said last year with all the fights and everything. Yeah, McDavid is thinking he needs to come to Florida, which, by the way, I'm not going to bring it up. Like, I'm not going to show it here. Um, but I guess there's rumors on Twitter that we're going to move Bobrovsky, that the Panthers are going to move Bobrovsky, and I just wonder where people get the good drugs, because I could use them. I could use them, to be honest with you. I would like to check out of the real world just long enough for me to actually think that they would trade Bobrovsky. Yeah. Now, of course, if it happens, I'll shave my head. But I don't know, man. I don't think so. But I don't know how healthy we're gonna be, right? Marchand was obviously still um he was obviously still battling the injury. Don't know how healthy we're gonna be. We got a back to back here. Colin says, I just found a new rumor about. Damn, chat's jumping so fast. I just found a new rumor about shutting down guys for the year to get healthy for next season, and then Bob to the Sharks. Yeah, that's the one, Colin. The Bob to the Sharks. Now look, if they want to go Celebrini for Bobrovsky, I'll do it, and then we'll just take Bob back next year. But come on, the Sharks got Askarov, right? Oleska says, can we get Heliabuck? I mean, no, probably not. Probably not. Anthony says, you've seen multiple Olympics and world championships. Would you say that the paddle save that Connor had against Devon Taves is one of the greatest things you've ever seen? Yes. In that moment, in that moment, I think it's probably right up there with, was it David Tyrese, the guy that caught the ball in his helmet in the Super Bowl? But in terms of hockey saves in a big moment, that was insane. Because when you reach your paddle back like that, how thick is it? What is it? Is it 3 inches? Is that how thick that part of the paddle is? So you've got the whole rest of the net. And for it to, anybody that thinks sports is rigged, just show them that play. because I don't care how good of an actor you are. I don't care how much you practice a scene. You couldn't fake that. You couldn't recreate that twice if you tried it 100 times. I don't think so. Relentless says Leaf fans are going berserk because they have a game Wednesday, but Matthews got invited to the State of the Union tomorrow by the president. Players would miss the required check-in date if they go. Oh, so the Leafs play Wednesday, Thursday. So that's interesting. We play Toronto, and they've got the second end of a back-to-back. Canadian fans were also saying Reinhart, Marchand, and Bennett must have been using PEDs like Ekblad because they didn't look great in the Olympics. Yeah, welcome to why the Panthers are in last place. They're exhausted. They're cooked. They're cooked. I'm not going to say I've given up hope, but being that I saw that's probably about as much energy as that you're going to get out of those three guys, especially Marchand's clearly hurt. I don't think we should sell or anything like that, but I think we should pretty much start preparing ourselves that they might not make the playoffs. Like, I didn't see anybody's level of play at the Olympics make me think, ooh, they're going to be, they're going to be jam-packed full of energy. Hey, Adonis, how you doing, bud? How have I been doing? I'm trying not to die. I'm having some heart issues, so that's why I'm a little bit calmer. The damn golden goal almost killed me. Like, I jumped out of the chair, and when I went down to one knee, I wasn't acting. I wasn't acting. I jumped out of the chair, and I damn near almost passed out. So I won't die. But if I die, it'll be on camera. That's the good news. Because as long as it's kind of good that the Panthers might not make it, because I don't think I could go through a whole playoff thing right now. I'm having enough trouble thinking and talking. No oxygen, no blood flow. Colin says they also mentioned about Erod and Greer because there's too many guys in Florida, yeah. Now, I made the video, last week about what we could possibly do. And yeah, you can't keep everybody. Like, you're not going to have Samoskevich, Vilmanis, Bolquist, Rodriguez, and Greer on the team next year. There's not enough. I mean, technically, is there? No, you'd have to get rid of them. You just don't. You have too many guys. So, Rodriguez, maybe. Greer, maybe. Certainly. I wouldn't be shocked. But what are you going to get? What are you going to get? A 4? Right? What are you going to get? Rodriguez has an extra year, so maybe you'd get a 3. JC says 2 Canadian influencers said that if Canada lost, they would do whatever the top comment said. Long story short, then they have to move to the U.S. and enlist in the Marine Corps. Oh, that's awesome. Let me know when it happens. Well, it says, why would Bob go to the Sharks? They're not even making the playoffs. So let's remind ourselves of these standings. The Sharks are, what do we got here? 64 and 63. Yeah, the Sharks are 5 points out with a game in hand, but not overly likely. But that said, they're only chasing the Ducks and the Kings and the Preds. So it's not exactly, you would expect the Kings maybe to take that spot, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't see any of that happening. Mike says Jeff Merrick, who is legit, said he wouldn't be surprised if Bob was moving. The health of Marchand and Kachuk is a priority. Marchand maybe gets shut down. So I know that Marek is legit. I saw that, but I'm always wary of guys that are in the know and how they word things. So all he said was he wouldn't be surprised if Bob got moved. To me, that's just engagement farming, which is fine. That's his job, is to try to stir up discussion. I don't think he has any information other than, in other words, like, I'm not a hockey insider. I don't have any knowledge that way. But if I tweeted, I wouldn't be surprised if Bob was moved. Nobody would take it seriously because I'm just a guy tweeting. So that's how I took that tweet from him, was just as a personal musing. So that if, it's a good tactic. You say that, and then if it happens, I say, see, that's what I thought was going to happen. But I can't imagine. I mean, that would just be. Didn't she just have another baby? Didn't his wife just have another baby? No, that was Verhaeghe's wife. That's right. I get him confused. Real says, I saw a replay where they were all scrambling in front of the net, and McAvoy blocked the puck with his face. Damn. Trent says, do I think we can make a run next year, or is our window done? I don't think it's necessarily done, but I do start to get the feeling like if we come out and we lose these back-to-back games, just stop already. You know what I mean? Like, I still have hope. But if they come out with whatever amount of rest they've had is as good as they're going to get. So if we come out and we lose to Toronto and we lose to Buffalo, just shut people down. Let Samoskevich play. Let Vilmanis play. Call up Horvolka and just start resting guys now and give them what it would be an extra 2 months of rest instead of an extra, it would be an extra 2 months of rest on top of the rest of missing the playoffs. Like, I think they're mentally cooked more than physically. The number of times that this Panther team, this core group of guys, had to basically come back from almost the dead, right? So the first year with Vegas, the story, just barely making the playoffs. They had to come back from just about that against Boston. Then what happened with the injuries against Vegas? Then they almost blew the whole damn Stanley Cup, getting up 3-0, and they had to come back, from losing games 4, 5, and 6, right? And then last year, the mental strain of just trying to keep everything together, and then almost being dead for rights against the Leafs there. And then having to, dig even deeper again for another, to finish things off. I honestly feel like they may be more mentally drained than they actually are physically drained. That's how I view it anyway. I'm scrolling down to the bottom of the chat because I know I missed a lot. I apologize. I'm talking a little bit too slow today. So I'll try to move back up. So it says, Jaw's thoughts on thoughts on if the Panthers bottom out, luck into the first overall pick and pick McKenna. Will Samuel be moved in that case? When I did the roster construction for next season, I don't know where Samoskevich fits. And I don't want to say that, right? Now, the only spot I see for Samoskevich on this team next year is if you want to give him one more chance next to Bennett and Tkachuk at the start of the season and everybody's healthy, see what happens. And then if he doesn't cut it, you move him and you'll have lots of cap space to go get a guy. Other than that, you're not breaking up Lundell, Lusterine, and Marchand. You're not putting them on the top line, and you're certainly not putting them on the fourth line. And you sure as hell would rather have Vilmanis out there anyway. So as much as I would hate to see him get moved and go on elsewhere, the reality of the situation is there's just only so many roster spots. And if we're healthy, the only spot that you have for Samoskevich is next to Bennett and Tkachuk. And then It just but at the same point, depending on what we pay Bobrovsky, we're going to have a lot of money. So if you keep Sam Miskevich and you just give him like a bridge deal, 2 years at 1.5, if you keep him and give him a chance next to Bennett and Tkachuk, you're going to have a lot of cap space that's not used, because where are you going to spend it? You can upgrade the bottom pair, but all the money is already spent, right? So if you give Bob, if Bob wants to come back and you give him 7-8 million with the raise in the cap, we're going to have cap space that will go on. Zito's going to have to make a decision whether he wants to go get a guy, or do you give Sam Miskevich another chance? And then if he doesn't do well, you trade Sam Miskevich and whatever you got to give up to Ottawa for Brady Tkachuk, and you put Tkachuk on that line with Bennett and Tkachuk and go win 3 more cups. Patel says, I know it's the Olympics, but I get annoyed that many are okay to play in the Olympics but can't play in the regular season. So, yeah, I mean, Marchand did miss a couple of games. It's tough. I mean, I completely understand and agree to an extent with what you're saying there. But I mean, these guys are, I guess it's just one of those things when you're growing up and you're envisioning being a hockey player. It's part of the deal, wanting to play for your country. You know what I mean? Donna says, unfortunately, I think Samo doesn't fit here long term. I know people will say this is a sophomore slump like a lot of rookies face, but I can't see how he can turn it into a major piece without a position. Should have listened to Trey's trade advice when Sam Miskevich was solid. Of course, his contract is still 2-way, so you could actually still send him back down to the AHL. And I don't know. Sam Miskevich is kind of like the same thing as Bobrovsky, but just to the opposite extent. With Bobrovsky, how much of the play is the defense's fault and the lackluster play of the team versus how much of it has he regressed because of age? Where with Sam Miskevich, it's like, I mean, the kid scored 15 goals last year. Was that a fluke, right? But he's such a young player, and so how much of his struggles have been because of the struggles of the team? And do you invest one more year? To me, honestly, I don't see much to lose in investing another year, unless there's somebody that you feel as a free agent that you can add to that spot that's really going to be the difference maker. But, Craig says, Mackey just isn't progressing. He gets bullied off the pucks. Yeah, he needs to go back to 25, right? I'm going to scroll up to some of the comments I made or missed. Collins says, honestly, I want to use that potential top 10 pick on a D-man or a goalie since the Panthers have way too many forwards to single battleship. Yeah, we don't need any more forwards. That's for damn sure. I agree there. Silva says, Jaws thought. Oh, okay. I already read that. Relentless says, I wouldn't be sad to lose Bob. We got our money's worth. I'd hate to see it. To be honest with you, I would hate to see it, because if he's going to go out, let him go out a Panther. I don't think he's really. He's probably just exhausted as the rest of the team. And I don't know that if a team traded for him, I almost have the feeling like because of the move and the pressure and everything, I almost kind of feel like it could be an embarrassing end for his career if they moved him somewhere. I don't think it would be good for him. But what do I know? Real says, how can we lose to Buffalo and Toronto when Chucky already convinced Thompson and Matthews to come here? Tage Thompson is unnecessarily tall. He was standing next to Jake Gensel yesterday, and it looked like it was Hall standing next to Oates. Like if you've ever seen a picture of Hall and Oates standing next to each other, I mean, it is, and Tage Thompson's just stupid tall. It's just unnecessary how tall that guy is. Unbelievable. There's some right-handed D in the draft. I'm interested to see how Horvolka can do, though, too. Right? And that's where I got to in the video where I talked about the cap and everything. It's a lot of decisions to be made. Now, another name that could easily get moved before the deadline here is Boquist. If we come out and it doesn't look like we're going to make it. But the way that Maurice is talking, of course, what does it matter how he says things? But the way that Maurice is talking, he's saying that, well, we're in a tighter race this year. And I was kind of looking at him like with the side eyes, like, are we even in a race? It ain't looking so tight, Paul. I know he's trying to be positive and everything, but look, where are I'm looking first in the standings. I can't find us because we're in last place, you dumbass. Toronto, Buffalo, Thursday, Friday. If you don't win both of those games in regulation, like if you come out, even if you beat Toronto and then you lose to Buffalo, you're gonna be you could be 11 points out at that point. And then just forget it. Just forget it. Like you're not coming back from 11 points down in 23 games. So if you win those two, if you come out and you beat Toronto and Buffalo in regulation, then you have the Islanders and you have the Devils. They're winnable games. They're not gimmies, they're road games, but those are winnable games. Give me those four. And then on March 5th and 6th, we have another back-to-back right in between the trade deadline. You got the Jackets and the Wings. And we're chasing everybody. And so when you get to the point where you look at it, it's just like you can't lose any of these games. And it's just not necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not impossible, but it's not likely. Relentless says, Canadians are already claiming the cup for a pissed off McKinnon, but McDavid and Cooper got to be fuming too. Cooper was definitely pissed. That's for sure. McDavid, man, I heard somebody said that he needs to win a cup in order to cement his place as the best player ever. And why is he considered the best player ever? Like, I'm not saying he's not a great player, but like numbers wise, I don't know. I don't know. To me, there's a few that stand out. I mean, Gretzky, just for starters. Donna says, I don't think we'll pull a Vegas and trade our starting goalie after all he's done for this franchise. I don't. Now, somebody did mention, I think Bob's no move clause right now is down to 16 teams because it's the last year. Let me see. It has a 10-team no trade clause. Is that what we have here? The point being, Let me see. Um, no. So he's got a 16 team no trade list, is what he's got. That's interesting. So they actually, I wonder what those 16 teams are, but they could technically do it without his permission. I don't think they would. I mean, I know Zito's a gangster, but damn. Now, the only way I think it would happen is if Bobrovsky is planning on retiring and he says, "Hey, sure, I'll if you want to trade me to one of these teams, maybe I can get on another playoff run." Oh, okay, kind of like, not exactly what Boston did with Marchand, but you get the idea. It's kind of ironic how that all worked out. Boston thought they were going to retool and rebuild and all of that, and now they're in and we're out. Relentless says Kachuk has now cost McDavid 2 cups and a gold medal in 3 years. They gotta. It was really interesting seeing Kachuk and Austin Matthews hug after the win. It really shows you the difference in like, yeah, you're playing on different teams and you want to kill each other and everything, but then you're also able to work together and all of that. The plushies. Now, whose idea? Now, I know that I heard that those plushies that they hand out, that they're always in like some kind of a gift basket or gift bag or whatever after. But I've never seen them just hand out the plushies like something like that right after the medal. Like, here's your silver medal and here's your teddy bear. Like, what? That was so awkward. It made for great memes and everything, but it was just so incredibly awkward. Craig says Bob only moved if Bob wants to go. Just moving him would crush the room. Yeah, I don't understand. I get it if it's legitimate NHL insiders saying stuff. But you know me, I don't believe anything until it's happened. Stop hating on the plushies. They gave them to the US as well. Oh, I know they gave it to them. I'm just saying my problem isn't the plushies. My problem is making the silver medal team stand there after they just lost, and they're obviously upset and devastated, and they had, every one of them had that sullen look when they put their head down to get the silver medal. And then to make them stand there for another round of handshakes to get the plushie on camera like that, like it just let me get off the ice, man. You know what I mean? That's how I felt about it anyway. I felt bad for him. Like, let me just get off the ice. McDavid will have his on eBay as an anonymous seller, right? Yeah, along with his MVP. Is it a trophy? Did they give him a trophy? That poor dude. Like, I guess. And what is it with the voting on some of these awards where they make these people vote for certain things before it's cooked? Like, they make the sports writers vote for what the hell? Well, for this, they had to vote for the MVP of the tournament after the first period. Or like they vote for the GM of the year after the first round of the playoffs. It's like the game's not even over and they're voting for the MVP of the tournament. Meanwhile, Connor Hellebuck, jeez. Hey, Colby, thank you, bud. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, man. Oh, yeah, the whole Cash Patel thing. Yeah, I don't know. Dude was celebrating, drinking beer. People criticizing him. It's like, okay, man. It's like you can not like somebody's politics, but we're all just human. You know what I mean? They were trolling McDavid with the MVP. That dude, honestly, I'm not going to say I hope he wins at some point. Let him come to Florida and win. Let McDavid and Brady come to Florida. We'll win again. Real says that's why I'd almost rather get the third bronze and stuff like that because at least you go out on a win. That's a good point. You hate Patel taking away attention, but didn't they invite him? Derek, didn't they invite him? I don't know the story. Well, I think they invited him though, Derek. That's what I heard. I didn't, I ain't gonna pretend to know. You sure he paid out of his own pocket to be here? Well, it's the government. They're all screwing us, Jake. You know what I mean? They're all we were forced at gunpoint to give up our money. So it is what it is. Yeah, dumb name. Trade for a Helliebuck. I doubt. What's his numbers been too? Right. That's something I wanted to talk about because it shows you. So Helliebuck's numbers at Winnipeg this year are 279 and a 900, which is well worse than his career average. Significantly worse than his career average. In fact, the last 3 seasons, 920, 921, and 925. So the point there being is like when I think about how Bobrovsky's numbers are bad, and I compare it to what Helliebuck was able to do in this tournament and the numbers that he displayed, to me it just illustrates, it's a team game. It's very much a team game, and it's not always, a situation where the goalie just suddenly sucks. I understand the concerns with Bob because of his age and everything, but Helliebuck, that was insane what he pulled off yesterday. Oh yeah, David, yeah, how cool was it to bring Gaudreau's kids out there on the ice? That was cool. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. You love to see that. And then they took the second picture. They thought they were done and all of that. Yeah. His parents were that was a good moment for sure. Relentless says any decent goalie can have a big game like that. Bennington blocked something like 50 or 51 versus Dallas in a game 7 of the playoffs. Kenneth says Bob and Ovi should have picked teams and had a Russian all-star game. You would have watched. Yeah, I mean, without Russia, too, there's that part. Yeah, Helliebuck turned it up. There's no doubt. His numbers were crazy. Hey, Tipsy. Hope everyone is safe. Yeah. Currently jamming in the afternoon stream, shoveling your house out of the whiteout conditions. We didn't get it that bad. We got about 6 inches, but it's so windy that it's just blowing all over the place and everything. So it is what it is. You were looking at the mock draft, having the Panthers taking Vigo Bork. What position? Let me see. Let's see who this kid is. That's weird. It came right up. That's weird. It's almost like that was weird now. My browser is listening to me. Now, my browser is listening to me. So I just read Trent's comment. I opened up a new window and I put the letter V in. And autofill put Vigo Bork Hockey. Come on now. So let's see. What about this kid? Boy, that's not going to give me. Elite Prospects doesn't have much information here. They don't have his height or anything here. Let me see if Viggo Bork is a 5'9" forward from Sweden. We sure we need that? You sure about this guy? I mean, Marchand's 5'9", so I guess there's that. That was weird, man. Yeah, exactly, Colin. All I did was put in a V. Like, with all the recent things I've been doing, if I put a V in my bar, it should have said Vincent Trocheck. That's what should have come up. Dennis says Jogs is predictable, or he's old, or he looked him up earlier and forgot. No, I don't even know the dude. That was crazy. Huh. He has all the under 17 records in Sweden. So another, but he's a forward. I mean, I don't know. Real says, I hope Hellebuck wins a cup someday, just not against us. When's his contract up? Huh? Well, let's see. When's his contract up? Oh, God, he signed for a while. Hey, Winnipeg, we can afford a goalie. I'm just saying. Come on, Winnipeg. Well, we'd be walking into, how old is he? He's 32 now. We could afford to pay him. Him and Bob can split the bill. Right? We could have a Hellebuyck Bobrovsky tandem. Chase Reed or bust. Now, who's this? He's an ice hockey player, according to Google. Let's see. Who's Chase Reed? He's a defenseman. He's 6'2", 187 pounds, but he's 18, so he's got some time to fill out. His rankings 4.3, 6, 3.10. Okay, so basically a top 10 ranked kid. Yeah, I take that. I'd be good with that. Colin, yeah, funny enough, Trocheck was with Kachuk during the medal ceremony. You know, you won't hear me say it often, but I was wrong, man. I thought taking Trocheck was going to be a mistake. His numbers this year during the regular season have not been good. In fact, I'm curious about that because he did so well in the face-off circle. And his face-offs this year, come on, I don't want to sign up for the Rangers thing. So his face-offs this year haven't been terrible, 56.5. He's just been a minus 16, which is, his numbers have not been really all that great this year. And he really, really upped his level of play, no doubt. And why not? You know, he probably viewed it as an opportunity where he's getting to a point in his career that he might not win a cup. You know, he might not win a cup. And so maybe he felt like, you know, this would solidify him, you know, in terms of his own personal legacy there. Yeah, he killed it on the faceoffs. Real says the 5-on-3 PK was stressful. Yeah, I know. I was having heart palpitations on top of the normal heart palpitation. That was rough, man. I had to literally calm myself down during that game. Most stressed I've been with a PK since Stenlund killing the one in Game 7 without his stick. Oh, God, that's right. And that's the whole thing, like with Cooper complaining about it being 3-on-3. I mean, they had 5-on-3 for a minute and a half, and they couldn't score. Are the Panthers coming back more tired after the Olympics? Some might. Bennett, Marchand, and Reinhart certainly cannot be invigorated by the experience because they lost. Kachuk obviously will be invigorated, so that's good. Forsling didn't have to play for a few extra days. Lundell, Luosterainen, they looked pretty good. They look like themselves out there. Mikkola looked like himself out there. Where I'm really curious is in how will the rest have affected Bobrovsky? Because whether it's fair or not, the only way the Panthers are going to make the playoffs is if Bobrovsky turns into Helliebuck from yesterday. Because I just don't know that we're going to have the, I just don't know if we're going to have the gas. Oh, hey, Icy, thank you, bud. He asked me who won the Flying Fluffy Bracket Challenge for the Olympics. Let me open that up. I had that open over here. Here we go. Oh, no, that's not it. Hold on a second. Let me get to it here. Let me see. So let me share the page here. And here we go. Let me share the page. I believe this is it. Yeah. So Jacob won with 388 max possible points. Christian had 370 and Bucks had 311. And then here's everybody that didn't have the courage to pick the United States. Everybody that picked Canada ended up down here. So you got Jacob, Christian, and Bucks. So I'll make a post about it and give you guys the information for the prizes. Congratulations. Will it let me show what the no, it's not letting me show the brackets. It's not letting me click on to see what the bracket was. But anyway, so Jacob won, Christian at 370, and then Bucks got in at 311. And you'll notice they all picked the United States. And everybody else picked Canada. Colin and I both picked Canada. Colin, Scott, Stephen, Colby. Is what it is. I didn't believe. I couldn't win my own bracket anyway. So it's probably better that I didn't pick. Who are those Eric and Kyle guys? I never heard of them before. Hey, MJ, how you doing, buddy? MJ, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was pretty. Oh, I see. You're Jacob. God, great. Congratulations. Good job. Hey, MJ. Happy Monday. I'm on a quick break before getting back to work here. Oh, my gosh. Last night's gold medal game was magnificently epic. Can we declare it the best gold medal game ever? I'm sure for the United States POV. Yeah. Absolutely. I certainly don't know who the Eric guy is, Craig. That's for sure. I can't imagine how much people were betting MJ for sure. Little Grayson said Reddit just made Quinn Hughes delete his post with Cash Patel. Oh, jeez. Nothing. Yeah. It is what it is, right? It's a wild world we live in. That's crazy. Yeah, MJ, the Miracle on Ice guys for sure had to be happy. Howie says McDavid, Bush, and Hyman and Draisaitl will all have something to prove this spring. We've had enough heartbreak. I'm sure they're going to put up a cup banner in Rogers' place. That's what you all want. It's not. I mean, look, I am not saying you can or you can't. But getting there 3 times in a row. If you do, you better win it. That's for sure. Because you see what happened to my Panthers after getting there 3 times in a row. Real says, I do feel a little bit like Guerin and Sullivan got bailed out a little bit by Hellebuyck and the Hughes family. We only scored 1 goal in regulation versus Sweden and Canada, but we won. Who cared? That's it, man. I get it. I agree there, MJ, 100%. Yeah, doing it without his teeth, man. Doing it without his teeth. It's a good look, too. I wonder if he'll keep his teeth the rest of the way, the rest of the season. I wonder if he'll just keep his teeth that way for the rest of the year. That's what I would do. Well, it's the middle of hockey season, right? Find it funny how Reddick keeps trying to put the Hughes on a pedestal and try to shame the Kachucks. Yeah. It's a weird it's a weird world. I don't understand it. Real says Sam Bennett, that dirty rat disfigured Jack Hughes. The ratings for the game were solid. That's good. Yeah, I mean, the time we perked up, right? I mean, 8 was a little bit early, but we perked up. It worked out. We won the gold. It's all good. So, all right, everybody, I got to roll. I'm gonna try to do something live tomorrow night. I think I'll try to do something. I'll still be here tomorrow at noon. I got a video coming out tomorrow as well, Panthers related. Oh yeah, they're already writing the script, MJ. No doubt. It'll be on Netflix. You got to start snow blowing after this. Jeez. Yeah, we didn't get too bad. It was like 6 inches. It was pretty to look at. It is what it is. So I will be back tomorrow at noon. We'll get back to Panther stuff here soon enough. And then tomorrow night we'll do something live as well. Nah, I don't know if we got like 6 inches. So we're okay. It didn't hit us as bad as it was going to hit some, but we just had a lot of ice on the trees and the wires and whatnot. But we only had a couple of power flashes. No big deal. So, all right. Yeah, that's it. So I'll see you tomorrow. That's what she said, MJ. I'll see you tomorrow at noon. I'll let you know what we're doing tomorrow night. And then hockey starts back up on Wednesday. And then that's it. It's quick and painful. I don't know. Once the season starts, once it starts back up, it's either going to be quick and over or quick and we get some hope. Because we could end up 14 points out or 6 points out really, really quick. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you tomorrow at noon.